This is a bed I recently finished for the ASA Landscape Juried Art Show that they do here in Washington County annually. The challenge was to get a piece of furniture that would be accepted in a show that's typically about fine art, paintings and sculptures of landscapes. Obviously what I've done with it is incorporated an actual landscape into the footboard using the wood. The twigs actually make a mountain landscape based on a local view. And then of course the headboard is a sunset or a sunrise, depending on what you like, putting together a landscape. So I'm very proud that the bed was accepted as the first piece of furniture ever in this show. The other aspect of it that's landscape related is the fact that this bed is entirely, with the exception of the sun disc, it's made entirely out of American hop hornbeam, otherwise known as ironwood. An extremely hard and durable wood makes hickory and oak feel like pine in comparison. Very hard to work, almost impossible to work with machine tools because it dulls carbide so quickly. This is done mostly with hand tools, which I constantly sharpen as I'm working. Also, the wood can't really be used as dimensional lumber because it just checks. In other words, cracks quite a bit, which is an attractive aspect of it, but if you've got it shaped as a squarish board, it's going to bend and crack and not work, so it works a lot better as twigs. The construction is entirely mortise and tenon, most of it being pegged, so the wood actually goes into the next component and there's a peg through the tenon holding it together. Extremely solid construction. And even the thinner parts here are very, very strong because of how strong the wood is. All the mortises are hand carved to match perfectly. And rails feature kind of that little starburst, which is also made out of ironwood. Actually, this is another non-ironwood part. It's just pine, again, because it has to be dimensional lumber. An interesting feature of it is the sun disc, which is really neat. It's tiger maple, but what's interesting about it from a structural point of view is all of these members here are mortised about 1.5 inches into here, and then also 1.5 inches into here. So the question then remains, well, how can you get a disc suspended in air and get it mortised all the way around? So that kind of makes an interesting structural puzzle, which I'm not going to take time to explain here. But this is a bed that is landscape inspired.